It is possible for Leon to send out aircraft movement messages. This process can be automatic or manual. Both need a bit of initial configuration, which is set up in the settings, email templates, MVT messages. In here we set up the rules, so when exactly those messages should be sent out, as well as the template of the actual emails. First, click on the wheel icon to define the sender. So here we enter the name of your company and an email to which the replies to movement messages should come. The rules are set per aircraft and the on-off switch activates and deactivates the rule. The blue is the selected one. To add a rule, click on the aircraft and then add rule. You can add as many rules as necessary. A name would be something like takeoff or landing. The scenario is selected from the list. Depending on which one is selected, a different trigger will be used to send out the message. All of them, however, come from the flight watch. The times in the flight watch are either filled in by hand, by the ops department, or automatically by Eurocontrol. Each scenario refers to a particular field. Takeoff scenario will be triggered when the takeoff time comes into the flight watch. Landing uses landing time, CTOT change is here, ETD change is sent when this time comes on. Aircraft ready bases on landing time filled in on a previous flight, so when the aircraft is landing, the client assigned to the next trip, given that it is a different client, will receive a message that the aircraft has landed. Similar case is with ETA update. When it's filled in, the next client will receive a message with the estimated time of arrival. In here we select the template used for this message, so if it's a takeoff, we would use the takeoff or the takeoff in standard movement format. We'll go through the template in a second. This checkbox will disable sending messages for ferry flights. Here we fill in the emails that this movement will be sent to, copy, secret copy, from label and reply to email if it's different than the general one, client representative. That is given that the representative's email is provided in the client's information in the phone book. If it's not, the email will be sent out to the main email of the client assigned to the flight. We can also send a copy of the movement message to the handler assigned to the flight. Below we can copy the rule over to the other tails so that we don't have to create the same rule for each aircraft separately. Here we delete the rule and here we can set it back to blank. Now we can create another rule, maybe for landing this time. Okay, we have two basic rules. Let's have a look at the templates. These are the ones provided by the system, but you can also add custom ones using this plus here. You can see there's two of each scenarios. The regular one is a standard letter format, whereas the MVT one consists of nothing but the movement information. Both include the same data, just worded differently. You can see the body of the email consists of the tags found in the legend on the left. The tags have to be used in this exact format to be working properly. If there is a bracket or a letter or anything missing, we won't be able to save the template and the preview window will show in red where the problem is. The tags are grouped under the arrow here. Here we have what the tag means, and here is an example of the final outcome, which is used in the preview window so that you know what the message would look like. Obviously, the actual messages will include the actual data from your schedule. Okay, once the configuration is done, we can see how to send the movement message. However, before we do that, remember when I said the flight watch data can be filled in by Eurocontrol? To make that happen, we need to integrate the account with Eurocontrol. It's very simple. We obviously have to be registered in Eurocontrol, but given that's sorted, we can go to Settings, Add-ons, we find Eurocontrol on the list, click Edit and switch it on in the Configuration tab and save. And that's it. The integration will be saved correctly given that the ICAO codes of the operator match in both systems. So make sure the code is the same in Eurocontrol and Leon. Once that's out of the way, we can move on to the Ops panel. The flight watch is found in the right panel together with the journey log. Remember when we listed the fields for different scenarios? Now we can test those out. We have a takeoff rule set up, so let's insert the takeoff time. When we hover the mouse over, we can see the source of this information. I've entered the time manually, but it can also say Eurocontrol if the time is automatically updated thanks to the integration. Here we have the actual email sent by Leon based on the template we selected and triggered by the flight watch. Now, it is also possible to send the message by hand. In the tab Trip, we can fill in the field takeoff and landing emails. Just make sure the client representative checkbox in the movement configuration is ticked, because that's what activates this function, so that we don't have to enter it for each email separately. Or we can leave it blank and save the changes. And now in the flight watch, we click Send MVT. We select the role, insert the email if we left it blank in the Trip tab, and make sure all the information is correct. This is taken obviously from the configuration we've done earlier. This way the movement messages can be sent out regardless of when the flight watch is filled in. Okay, so that's it for the movement messages configuration. I hope it was helpful. If you need further assistance, you can look up the section on movement messages in our online manual or contact our support team.